Hello, everyone. Welcome to my first podcast hosted by me, Miruku. This is a podcast where I share anything that is on my mind and provide my thoughts and perspectives with my own life experiences on a topic I feel passionate to talk about. Today's topic is rebound relationships. Stick to the end for a short tarot message for this episode. Welcome, everyone, to my very first podcast. My name is Miruku, and I'm excited to connect with my audience, sharing my thoughts on topics that come to my mind. Now, what inspired me to start this podcast? I felt inspired to connect with others on a more personal level beyond my cat videos and the video games I play. In the real world, I feel I can't truly connect with my peers. I'm either interrupted or dismissed, leaving me this thirst, this yearning to connect with others on a deeper level. So, if you've made it this far into the episode, thank you for being here and listening to me as I speak. Your attention means the world to me, and I'm eager to connect and share my life experiences with you. Let's get on with this episode's topic: rebound relationships. Keep in mind, I'm not a relationship expert. I speak through my personal experiences. What exactly is a rebound relationship? In my own words, a rebound relationship is newly formed after a short period from your previous relationship. Often, the person in a new partnership hasn't had proper time to heal. How long should a person wait to get into a new relationship after a breakup? It depends on the person. Some people recover and move on quicker than others. Everyone's experience varies. Are rebound relationships necessarily a bad thing? No, but the cons of a rebound outweigh the pros. The pros into getting into a rebound relationship: you've accepted that your relationship with your ex is over. It's difficult to accept that the relationship that you've been invested in is completely over, but it's time to move forward. You create distance from your ex. The best way to move on from your old relationship is to block or ignore that number and have very little to no engagement. Besides, your new flame is keeping you distracted in the meantime. You gain confidence. While your new flame is showering you with love and affection, your self esteem improves. While these are only some of the reasons why it's fun and exciting to start a new flame, shortly after a breakup, these confidence boosts in reality only serve you temporarily. Have you truly gotten over this person this fast? Did you give yourself time to process your feelings from your previous relationship? Have you healed from your trauma or learned from your previous relationship? Do you truly know who you are without this person? Here are the dreaded cons to being in a rebound relationship. You might be ignoring your feelings about your past relationship. Just because you're ignoring your hurt feelings for now, it doesn't mean these feelings go away. They might rise into problems in your new relationship. For example, I didn't like how my ex didn't do dishes, even if I saw mold growing out of it. From that experience, I refused to do dishes in my next relationship because of my traumatic experience from doing the moldy dishes all the time. Now, this is a minor example, but it was an event that scarred me for quite some time. You're going outside to boost your self esteem. Your new flame will give you that confidence boost that you need to validate yourself. However, your new flame is an outside source. If you're always relying on your partner to give you emotional validation, you're not truly taking the time for yourself to know how great you are. Seeking outside validation all the time can lead to emotional dependency. Being codependent can lead your new or future partners feeling drained. Now, for example, Let's just say you don't feel beautiful and you constantly need your partner to tell you every day how beautiful you are. Now, this is minor, of course. Somebody should do this, but this is just an example. So, let's just say that I'm in a new relationship. I don't think I'm beautiful. So, I need someone to tell me how beautiful I am. Maybe my partner would do that at first. But eventually, maybe they'll think, you are beautiful. Why can't you see that? Why can't you see how beautiful you are? It could cause my partner to feel tired and drained by telling me I feel beautiful all the time. So you might bring your emotional baggage into a new relationship without taking the time to reflect on what went wrong in your previous relationship. You could carry this baggage and habits forward. This can cause a pattern of events of the past to unfold. You might be dating the same person with a new face. For example, I brought my anger and resentment from doing the moldy dishes forward into my next relationship. So I made my partner, my new partner, do the dishes. Now, I did not do dishes at all, and my partner had to pick up the slack to work those dishes. That caused, or that could cause, it didn't happen in reality, but it could have caused my partner to resent doing dishes in the long term. So, what happens is I would have to pick up the slack that I created, and that brought my baggage forward. So now I've created the same guy with a different face, a guy who resents doing dishes, no matter how much they piled up. And it was on me because I brought my baggage forward from the old relationship to the next. Finally, this could be a hard pill to swallow, but I've had to swallow this too. This rebound relationship is all about you. This new partnership is rooted on how your heart is broken and you need to feel better about yourself. Is that a healthy way to start a new relationship? You're hurt. Recently ended a relationship or gotten broken up with, and you need an escape. You need a distraction. You need somebody new to validate that you're still dateable. Now, it's not a healthy way to start a new relationship. My experience from being in rebound relationships, from my high school years into my early adulthood years, I was never known to be single for very long. My self esteem was low. I was always with a partner, and if I wasn't with someone, it was a short window until I was in another relationship. This cycle began when I was in high school. The idea of not having a date for the next dance was my worst nightmare. I was in a military community, so everyone moves away unexpectedly. Most of my relationships ended because my partner moved away over the summer. Long distance relationships were attempted, but it never panned out for me. Moving on to my early adult years, it was more difficult to connect with my peers at university. Everyone was from a small town and had a stable environment. People knew each other and grew up together. I felt like an outsider. I felt the only way to learn to live in my new environment was to be in a relationship with someone. My fear of not having someone for the next dance from my teenage years evolved into I feel alone if I don't have someone into my early adult years. Eventually, everyone that I've been with became a blur of the same person, but with a different face. After years of getting into relationships without thinking, I was in a relationship for a few years. This was a serious relationship that caused much stress in my life, and I felt it was wise to end it. There were events I was looking forward to: graduating university, quitting my dead end job to start something new, and traveling abroad. This was going to be such an adventure. I decided to separate from my partner a couple months into starting my new adventure. It didn't stop others interested in me to share their affection toward me. While flattered and ego boosted, normally I would seek a new flame. However, I decided to do something different. I stood still. The flattery that I received from outside sources no longer affected me. I couldn't point out the reason behind it. Perhaps I was feeling drained from my repeated patterns, or my emotional investment into my previous relationship hadn't healed. Even though I decided to separate, I was still hurt. I processed my feelings into getting into a rabbit hole of tarot card readings online. While it was unhealthy to obsess over tarot, the most important take I received from these videos was: put all your love and energy that you've given to someone else back into yourself. And that I did. The first step was the most difficult: love and accept yourself. If you don't love yourself, why should others love you? I began saying affirmations to myself. I love and accept who I am. It was difficult at first. I never looked into the mirror and saw anything beautiful. Next, I did something weird. I dated myself. This seems silly, and I'll never admit this to my peers, but I began enjoying just being by myself. I went to malls and shopped alone. I ate at amazing restaurants by myself. I visited shrines and prayed alone as I connected with nature. Then I began researching various hobbies and gained new skills. Even if trying something new didn't work out, I rewarded myself for making an effort. Finally, it took me about 2 years putting all the energy that I would have put into a relationship back into myself. I experienced a complete rewiring of my thought process. I discovered who I was without a partner. I can identify myself without needing validation from others. I connected with myself again, and I learned to love who I am. Now, how can you do this too? I was lucky and had the opportunity to travel abroad. Traveling helped me disconnect from my old routine and focus more on myself. If traveling isn't an option for you, try to do something outside of your daily routine. The goal is to get outside of your comfort zone, get you to focus on something new, and move your focus away from your ex. The first and hardest step is loving and accepting yourself. It can be difficult and strange to see yourself as this amazing person, but you truly are. Your partner would always validate that you're amazing. So why can't you? Always choose yourself first, and a love that is right for you will follow if you're open to it. In conclusion, are rebound relationships bad? No, they're not bad. But you have to be careful about getting into these kind of relationships for selfish reasons. How long should you wait into getting into a new relationship? It depends on how long your process of moving on is. Just be sure that you've taken the time to reflect on what went wrong in your last relationship and learn from that experience before jumping into the next one. Only you can decide when you're ready. What can you do if you find yourself in a rebound relationship? Be clear, open, honest with your new partner. Mention that you've recently ended a relationship with someone. Always start a new flame with honesty and clear communication. What do you do if you find yourself in a rebound? Again, be honest about your feelings. If you feel this person needs space, give them space and find yourself. Don't let them use you to make themselves feel better. Pay attention to how they treat you. If you feel uncomfortable, reduce contact. Now, what are your thoughts about rebound relationships? Have you ever been one? Are you going through one? Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experiences are. Now, it's time for a tarot card message for this podcast. Tarot is one of the new interests that I gained from my journey of self discovery. Using tarot cards help guide me along my journey, and I hope it can help you too. Feel free to look up the meanings of the card and form your own interpretation if you wish. The tarot card for this podcast is Knight of Wands. If there is something you feel passionate about, just do it. Go for it. If there is a creative project you want to start it without hesitation. The bottom of the deck is Three of Pentacles. The bottom to me represents something that we're not seeing. You're not alone in your passions or your projects. Ask for help or work as a team if you'd like. Get along with others and build together. Use teamwork. There are people who think and feel the same about your creativity and passions just as much as you do. I feel that these two cards together speak of a creative project that someone needs to just jump in and go for, which is the perfect message for beginning to move forward from a relationship or a rebound. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Milk and Tea Podcast. I'm Miruku, and I'll see you next time.